The story begins 45,000 years ago, in the Stone Age, when a group of primitive humans gathers to decide their future. The bored young heron asks Eva to tell a story, but she refuses, saying she is not his mother. Adam forces Eva to tell Heron a story. She describes the place they are going, saying there are herds of animals and shelter. However, Odin, a member of the clan, insists that Heron needs to face reality, because he is already a man. He tells of a people who follow the seasons, face hunger when they cannot find herds, and decide to return south. A young man dreams of finding a distant land, but they will have to face the ocean. The reward is a land rich in animals and warm caves, and despite the elders' skepticism, the leader leaves with his group. He says the leader found the promised land, bringing happiness for a time, but soon they realize the place was cursed and the land infertile, exposed to relentless winds. Adam asks him to stop. Odin tells Adam there is no food or shelter and no one knows what exists out there. Adam claims he will kill any threat, and Heron asks what is out there. Odin replies that there are only bad things in the old dark lands. He mentions there are bloodthirsty and evil creatures. Adam jokes that he is the light. Odin warns that bringing light into the darkness is to know what dwells within it. He steps away into the darkness, leaving everyone worried, but soon reappears behind the boys. Irritated, Adam says there are no demons and claims there is still a chance of survival there thanks to him. The group falls silent as something moves quickly around them. In the morning, Hannah looks for something to eat, but Peter stops her and says it is harmful and that she needs to hold out longer. She jokes that maybe they will have to eat Odin. At that moment, they hear Heron nearby. Peter tells her not to worry about the boy. Hannah replies that he will eat first and she will be last, because she is a wanderer. Peter reassures her, saying she is no longer a wanderer, promises to take care of her, and says they will leave. The group continues on and climbs a mountain. Adam says that in 3 days they will be warmed in a cave, lifting everyone's spirits. After days of walking, Adam and Peter go out to hunt. They find mammoth hair and decide to investigate. As they climb down a cliff, they discover a mangled mammoth. Peter asks if it fell, but Adam believes something fierce drove it and tells him to stay quiet so as not to cause panic. They decide they must return. Odin approaches Adam and warns that the group is exposed. Adam says the spot is a good vantage point. Odin asks what they are watching if there is nothing there. Irritated, Adam says that is why the elders did not take him south and admits he brought Odin only out of pity. Odin retorts that it was not pity, but because Adam would need him if Eva died. Meanwhile, Peter and Evan notice that Hannah has become a woman. Eva goes off with her and says this is a good thing. Then she reveals she is pregnant and says that if the baby is a boy, she will be at ease, but if it is a girl, she will have to earn her own place. During the night, the group rests while Adam keeps watch. Hannah hears a distant noise and is frightened, and Adam notices she is awake and looks at her with desire. Before sleeping, she takes a knife to protect herself. The next day, they resume the journey and cross a vast frozen mist. Along the way, Adam hears his son calling him and turns back to look for him, but the fog blocks any view. He calls for Heron, but soon feels someone pass nearby and believes it is the boy, until the silence makes him uneasy, leaving only the sound of his breathing. Suddenly, Heron appears from behind, trying to scare him. Furious, Adam scolds him for walking alone in the fog. After traveling a bit longer, Odin shows fatigue and Eva cannot continue. Adam tells Peter the group can rest while they try to hunt something. The two move ahead and find a great forest. Adam says they need to go back, claiming he cannot lead them there because danger is imminent. Peter warns this will delay the trip and be hard on the others, but Adam says they will be fine if they get food and tells him to hurry. Before leaving, Peter senses something bad coming from the forest. They return at night and reveal they could not find anything. Eva feels ill, and Odin warns she needs food, which leaves Adam pensive. He again casts a desire-filled look at Hannah, making her uncomfortable. Odin tries to ease Eva's pain with a remnant of an ancient ritual. However, Heron keeps repeating the same word, irritating Adam, who tells him to be quiet. Again, he looks at Hannah, and she moves away. Adam asks Peter to keep watch that night, because he needs to care for Eva. Hannah goes off and takes the chance to clean herself when she realizes she is being watched. Adam appears and touches her face, warning her not to stray from the fire because it is cold. Meanwhile, Peter's eyes fill with tears, knowing what Adam intends. Adam says they have no food and that Eva is too exhausted and her baby might not survive. He says he can accept that because he has his son Haran and now Hannah too, claiming she is there to serve him. As he is about to do something to her, Hannah sees a creature standing in the darkness, watching them. Soon after, a terrifying scream echoes around them, putting everyone on alert. They return to the group and prepare for an attack. The creature does not reveal itself and begins circling them, and everything falls silent. Suddenly, Haran is pulled into the darkness, and Adam grabs Hannah, asking what took his son. She does not answer, and he tries to search for him, but Peter says it is impossible to find him in the dark. Adam says he will not abandon his son, and tells Peter to look after the group. Peter refuses, tries to stop him, and says he will not know what to do if Adam dies. He also warns that Eva and her baby need him, making Adam reflect and return to the group. At dawn, Adam declares it is time to leave and walks off. Peter, noticing Hannah's silence, approaches, and she says she does not want to go with him. However, Peter argues they have no other choice. Adam, who was searching for his son, sees Haran's coat thrown on the ground and runs to check. As he gets closer, he finds a strange slime on the fabric. Finding no trace of blood, Adam believes Haran is alive and decides to keep searching with the others. The path leads them back to the same forest. Peter senses danger and refuses to enter, but Adam insists Haran is there and presses on. With no other options, the group follows him. Peter catches up to Adam and asks him to reconsider, but Adam keeps following the tracks. He remarks that night is coming and that perhaps Haran is already dead. Adam turns and blames Peter for not keeping watch. The rest of the group arrives, and Adam tells them to keep going, but Hannah warns they are all exhausted. Odin tries to appeal to him because of his pregnant wife. However, Adam does not listen, presses on, and tells them to do the same. Hannah warns he is leading them all to ruin, but Peter hesitates to confront him and decides to follow. After running for some time, they reach a place covered in bones. Everyone watches the terrifying carnage. The creature's growl echoes again, now closer. Everyone goes on alert, and Odin says Haran is already dead. The monster lets out a terrifying scream that echoes through the entire forest. Adam looks at Peter and says they need to run. They start running and are chased by the creature. Suddenly, Adam stops, and when asked what he is doing, he suggests they make a fire, otherwise they will all die in the darkness. Hannah obeys and tries to light the fire, but she is so terrified she cannot, and the darkness quickly takes over. After a few minutes, she finally manages to make the fire, and everyone huddles together for protection. Hannah realizes they have no chance and says they are trapped. Adam does not like what he hears and knocks her down with a slap, then turns his attention back to the creature. He grabs Hannah's spear and prepares to attack. Noticing a strange movement, he throws the weapon, which seems to hit the creature, causing a pained reaction. Adam watches cautiously, but another nearby movement makes him run into the darkness, leaving the group alone. He pushes forward in the dark, guided only by the beast's growls, until he is terrified to feel it getting closer and closer. Suddenly, he is attacked, and his screams echo along with a violent growl. Adam begs for Peter's help, but Hannah tells him not to go. Peter refuses to stand still and runs to help, while Eva begins to feel strong pains again. In the woods, Peter notices something and is horrified. Hannah grips the knife and stays alert. She senses something approaching, and then Peter appears carrying Adam's body. As they approach, they see his jaw completely shattered, horrifying everyone with the idea of a creature on the loose. Eva asks Peter to do something because Adam cannot be saved, and Odin reinforces the request. Peter cries and says he cannot. Hannah realizes no one will do anything. She steps forward, hesitates for a moment, and seeing Adam suffering, kills him quickly. Then the group tries to decide what to do. Eva suggests they hide. Odin argues that is impossible because the creature will find them. Peter proposes they fight, but Odin disagrees, and the two begin arguing. Eva then collapses, sick, and Peter says she needs to eat or she will die. But Odin says there is no food. Thoughtful, Hannah says that now they have something to eat, and everyone looks at Adam's body. Eva says she does not want to do that, but Odin insists it is for the child. Peter objects, saying he will not eat his own because they are not monsters. Hannah asks if they want to survive and hands the knife to Peter, but he refuses. She tells him to close his eyes and starts cutting quickly, making Peter feel nauseated. Everyone eats the flesh, and he notices Hannah's coldness. Peter asks why the creature is hunting them, and Odin says it is because they invaded its territory. Now they are all destined to be hunted and killed, but Peter says he intends to take revenge and hunt the creature first. Hannah warns they cannot hunt that being, because Adam tried and failed. She suggests they need shelter. The next morning, Peter tells the group they will leave, and that he plans to take them to a safe place in the mountains. Eva says she trusts him and asks to get out of there, but Odin refuses to obey her. Peter takes his other spear to give it to Hannah, and Odin, with no other options, decides to follow him. As they walk through the forest, Peter watches everything cautiously. After some time, they find Adam's body and realize they are walking in circles. Peter says he cannot find the way out, and Odin suggests they follow his plan. He looks at Hannah and says everyone in the group has some value except her, because she is a wanderer, and says the monster began pursuing them after her first bleeding, claiming the creature can sense it. Suddenly, Eva comes up behind and begins restraining Hannah, with Odin quickly helping her. Peter tries to intervene but is knocked down, hits his head on a stone and passes out. The two take Hannah to the creature's lair and call her a demon, while the monster watches from afar. Hannah asks why Eva is helping Odin, and Eva says he is right and she does not want to lose her son. The monster's growl draws both of their attention. Hannah uses the distraction to knock down Odin and Eva and then runs, leaving them behind. The creature approaches, and Eva quickly grabs a sharp bone to defend herself. She prepares to strike, but Odin stabs her in the belly and offers her as a sacrifice. When he shouts for her to be taken, Eva grabs his legs, making him slip and fall onto something sharp. Hannah hears the screams but does not return. Because of the wound, Eva ends up dying. The young woman is watched by the creature but does not notice its presence. She returns to the lair and takes one last look at Odin before leaving him to die. The creature appears and drags Eva's body away while Odin watches helplessly. Later, Peter recovers and begins searching the forest for his companions. As he nears the creature's lair, he is surprised by Hannah, who tells him to be quiet and stay alert. The creature appears and stares at Odin, who, upon seeing it, faints in fear. Hannah whistles to draw the monster's attention and quickly leaves Peter alone, going to face the creature. He finds courage and prepares to help her, but Hannah strikes first. When she attacks the creature, she realizes it was a disguise and that the creature is actually a person. Peter approaches and sees Heron's toy hanging around the woman's neck. Feeling threatened, she screams to try to scare them, but cannot and begins to run. Hannah starts chasing the woman, while Peter tells her to wait, but she refuses, saying that woman is their only chance. She pushes on until she sees the end of the forest, and soon they emerge, watching the woman run toward the mountains. Hannah wants to go after her, but Peter refuses, saying he is too tired. Later, while resting, Hannah approaches and reveals she found the tracks. Peter says it does not matter because the woman is like them, but Hannah disagrees, saying she saw Eva's body being dragged, which makes Peter question why. She explains the woman is a monster, but Peter shows no interest and says he wants to go back. Hannah insists they need to fight because there is nowhere left to return to, saying that if the woman survived until now, it is because she has some shelter and they need to seize that chance. Peter asks what they will do if others appear, and she says there is no one else, that it was all just a way to scare them. He asks if she is not afraid, and Hannah says she is, but her will to live is greater. With no alternatives, Peter decides to help her, and the two begin following the trail toward the woman's lair. When they arrive, Peter says it looks like a trap, but Hannah says they have no other option. They enter the caves, but split up because there are two entrances. Hannah enters cautiously and begins searching for the woman. As she advances, a noise draws her attention. Investigating, she finds a small passage and decides to go in. From behind, a grotesque caveman watches her, and she senses she is being observed. When she turns, she sees no one, and continues exploring, until the man attacks her ferociously and throws her to the ground. He grabs her hand and starts smashing it against a stone until it breaks. Hannah screams in pain, and her screams are heard by Peter, who starts moving toward her. The caveman begins choking her, and to survive, Hannah pretends to be dead. As soon as he loosens his grip, she quickly uses her dagger to pierce his throat, and he tries to crawl away to escape. Hannah catches her breath, approaches, and drives her spear into him. Peter, searching for her, finds the passage and enters, but does not find her, only the man's body. He pulls out the spear and, seeing the man suffering, decides to finish him. Hannah meanwhile finds the woman's lair and sees sheets in a corner. Drawn to them, she approaches, assuming the woman is there. But when she pulls the sheets back, she discovers Heron is alive and has been there the whole time. He asks where his father is, but there is no time for answers because the woman appears armed. Hannah quickly puts Heron behind her, trying to protect him. Heron tells her not to do that, but she does not listen and advances on the woman. Peter, hearing the shouts, runs to help, but when he arrives, he is surprised to see Heron alive and gets distracted. At that moment, the cave woman hits him in the head. She is not satisfied and begins striking him repeatedly. Frightened by the brutality, Hannah throws the torch to burn the sheets and tells Heron to hurry and run. Smoke begins to fill the place, and she realizes they are trying to escape. The two climb into a narrow hole and begin fleeing, with the woman right behind. Heron gets out first, and Hannah follows, but the cave woman gets stuck and asks Heron for help to get free. He runs to help her and asks Hannah to assist, but she freezes, remembering all the deaths caused by her. With a stone, Hannah quickly strikes the woman several times, killing her. Heron, furious, asks what she has done, and she answers that it was a matter of life or death. He lunges at her, saying he was starving, but they found him and fed him. Hannah pushes him to the ground and says everyone is dead because of those people. Heron defends them, saying they were not monsters but people like them who only wanted to take care of him. He asks her to follow him and leads her back into the cave, where he shows her Eva's body. He explains they brought Eva's body there to honor her and her baby because it was the only way to say goodbye to the dead. He also says they kidnapped him because they wanted to save him, because they knew he would die. Hannah feels guilty for having killed good people and destroyed her future home. As an act of surrender, she decides to bury them with Heron's help and says goodbye to everyone. With nowhere to go, the two decide to live together in that cave. And so the film ends.